If you have ever been on a subway or public bus, you know the rules. Do not make eye contact, stay as far away from other people as the space allows, and never talk to anyone. However, what if the rules are wrong? The behavioral scientists Nicholas Epley and Juliana Schroeder approached commuters in a Chicago area train station and asked them to break the rules. In return for a $5 gift card, these commuters agreed to participate in a simple experiment during their train ride. One group was asked to talk to the stranger who sat down next to them on the train that morning. Others were told to follow standard commuter behavior and keep to themselves. By the end of the train ride, commuters who talked to a stranger reported having had a more positive experience than those who did not. If the idea of talking to a chance seatmate makes you uncomfortable, you are not alone. When Dr. Epley and Ms. Schroeder asked other people in the same train station to predict how they would feel after talking to a stranger, the commuters thought their ride would be more pleasant if they sat on their own. Why are what these commuters predict and their actual experiences so different? Most people imagined it would be difficult to start a conversation. They estimated that fewer than half of their fellow commuters would want to talk to them, but in fact, not a single person reported having been rejected, and the conversations were pleasant. According to a 2004 study published in Science, commuting is associated with fewer positive emotions than any other common daily activity. By avoiding contact, we are all following a collective assumption that turns out to be false. What if the research showed that we would improve our commutes by investing in social capital, interacting with the strangers sitting all around us? The great thing about strangers is that we tend to put on a happy face when we meet one, reserving our displays of irritation for the people we know and love. When one of us, Liz, was in graduate school, she noticed that her boyfriend, Benjamin, felt free to act unpleasantly around her, but if he were forced to interact with a stranger or acquaintance, he would put on a more cheerful face. Then his own pleasant behavior would often improve his mood. One of the advantages of being a scientist who studies human behavior is that when your partner does something you do not like, you can bring dozens of couples into the laboratory and get to the bottom of it. When Liz tested her idea in a laboratory experiment, she discovered that most people showed the Benjamin effect. Many of us assume, however, that our welfare depends on our closest ties, and not on the minor characters in our daily lives. To investigate how valid this assumption was, our student Jillian M. Sandstrom asked people to keep records of their social interactions. She had them count every interaction during the day according to whether it was a strong tie or a weak tie, a strong tie being someone close to them and a weak tie being someone they did not know so well. She found that reserved and outgoing people alike felt happier on days when they had more social interactions. More surprisingly, interactions with weak ties created relations at least as happy as interactions with strong ties. In a recent study, we recruited people on their way into a busy coffee shop with a $5 gift card. We asked some customers to start a genuine conversation with the staff at the cash register, smiling and having a brief conversation. Others were told to be as efficient as possible, get in, get out, and then go on with the day. Those who stayed longer to interact left the coffee shop feeling more cheerful. Efficiency, it seems, is valued too highly. Imagine you are on a large college campus. Even making eye contact to interact with people we walk by can make a difference. Such simple interactions with strangers may ease their sense of separateness, and being acknowledged by others might do the same for us. There should be one consideration, however. Another set of studies has shown that people tend to run away from strangers who stare at them too strongly on the street. Rather than fall back on our mistaken belief in the pleasures of being alone, we could reach out to other people. At least, when we walk down the street, we can refuse to accept a world where people look at one another as though through air. When we talk to strangers, we are likely to gain much more than the me time we might lose.